Hello, I'm Julian Whittle from Cumbria Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with Councillor Colin Glover, the leader of Carlisle City Council. And we're going to discuss some of the challenges and opportunities for businesses in the city. Colin, can we start with St Cuthbert's Garden Village? This is the proposal for potentially up to 10,000 homes, plus employment sites, parks, schools, shops, etc. on the southern fringe of the city. Explain why it's needed and update us on the consultation you've been carrying out this summer.
St Cuthbert's Garden Village is the largest in the programme and one of only two north of Manchester. Carlisle's increasingly being recognised as a place that is up for growth and it's open to investment opportunities. We're an ambitious city and we are contributing to the UK economy with a clear vision for the city, and we know that we need to grow the working age population, and that means providing more homes, employment sites, leisure facilities, community facilities and sustainable transport options. What we want from St Cuthbert's Garden Village is thriving communities, high quality development and a good quality local environment as well. So the idea is to provide village living with all of the opportunities of a city on the doorstep. And the plans will promote healthy living and lifestyles. So it will be distinctive communities with employment opportunities and local facilities.
So not some suburban sprawl, but distinctive communities.
Very much so. We wanted to avoid it being just an extension to the city. We wanted it to be something distinctive. If you were building a village from scratch, what would it look like? And that's what we wanted to do. What
I was going to say, I mean, one of the things that I hear sort of anecdotally is that people say, oh, well, where are all these people going to work if you build 10,000 homes? It's worth making the point, isn't it, that because Cumbria has a declining working age population, if we don't attract people from outside Cumbria to come and work here, then there's going to be a real problem for businesses recruiting the staff that they need as people retire. So it's not that new jobs necessarily need to be created for these people. They're needed to fill existing jobs to replace older workers who will leave the employment.
Yes, we know that we need to build a lot of homes just to stand still, but we don't want to stand still. We want to grow as a city. We want to attract investment into the city, and in order to do that, we need to provide more homes, good quality homes and sustainable homes for the future. But it isn't just about homes. We don't want this just to be an extension of the city. It's about what living will be like in the future, and it's also worth making the point that this is a 30-year programme, so it's not as though we're going to build 10,000 homes in the next 12 months. We want to make a start on it, but it is a 30-year programme.
Now, one of the components, a very interesting one I think from business perspective, is the Southern Link Road. Now this would link the M6 Junction 42 interchange with the A595 at Newby West. And you could say, I suppose, that it's the last link in a ring road with the M6 and the CNDR to the west. Do you see this road as absolutely critical to the development of Carlisle going forward?
Well, the northern development route has been a huge success and everybody's recognised that. And the Southern Link Road, as you say, is the missing link from the city's infrastructure. And it is key to delivering St Cuthbert's Garden Village. And it's also worth making the point that through the consultation process, it was identified that people didn't want just one big village. They actually wanted a number of smaller settlements rather than all being in one area, so it would be a cluster of connected communities. So the route of the road is really important, and it's going to be key to delivering St Cuthbert's Garden Village.
And are you able to say anything about the consultation that you've just completed this summer yet, or is it too early to report back on that one?
The consultation was in two phases. In spring, there was an initial consultation on the scope and the vision for St Cuthbert's Garden Village. And then in the summer, we were able to take more draft proposals that had based on the earlier consultation, and we did that in partnership with Cumbria County Council, who brought the proposals for the link road at the same time, so people were able to see everything together. It was well attended, public exhibitions and an online questionnaire as part of that 6-week consultation, and what came out of that was people did prefer some separate settlements rather than one big settlement all in one area. And what we're doing now is we're doing the detailed analysis of all of those comments to shape the way forward, because we really wanted this to be community driven so that people were able to influence and shape the way forward. And now we're moving into the master planning phase.
Okay, well, we talked about the link road, still on transport. It was disappointing that the start of scheduled passenger flights from Carlisle Airport had to be put back not just once but twice. Are you confident that flights will start in the spring, which is the date promised by Stobart Group and Loganair? And what benefits will having a fully functioning airport bring?
I think it's fair to say that the delays were disappointing, but we do understand that large-scale investments like a new airport can face unexpected difficulties. We've also seen there that a lot of investment has been put in to the new airport with new infrastructure, including runways, and also new facilities and terminal buildings. So there's a lot of work has already gone into this. And I can see that Stobart Group and Loganair continue to demonstrate their commitment to getting the airport operational with commercial flights. And we look forward to those new routes commencing in the spring next year.
And what benefits would they bring, do you think?
Well, Carlisle is the economic capital of Cumbria and the Borderlands, so it won't just be Carlisle that benefits. Everyone's very excited about the opening of the airport. It will make Carlisle, Cumbria and the Borderlands far more visible and far more accessible. I think it makes a statement about Carlisle as a serious economic driver in the north, and it also makes access for inward business investment and for the tourist economy much easier.
Okay. Now we know all local authorities have had to cut spending because of the government's austerity programme. You'll still be able to find some money to support businesses, such as through the Cumbria Business Growth Hub, the Chamber's business support arm. Why is business support such a high priority for Carlisle?
We know that Cumbria has a low-wage economy, so it's vital that we attract investment in good, well-paid jobs. Council's key priorities are economic growth and health and well-being. So small, medium and large businesses are important to the local economy. It's important that businesses can see the council has a positive and proactive attitude to business and growing the local economy. And we need to support new and small businesses to help them get established and to grow. We also need to make sure that larger companies see Carlisle as an attractive and welcoming location for their businesses.
Okay. Now, we spoke earlier in the year about a Borderlands Growth Deal. This was something that the Chancellor floated in his budget speech last year, and it could bring investment in various programmes and projects, both in Cumbria and the other side of the Scottish border. It all seems to have gone a bit quiet for the last few months. Can you update us with the latest? Is it making progress?
Yes, I must admit it doesn't feel quiet from my perspective, because we're having lots of meetings with leaders and senior officers to take this forward. Following the announcement in the budget last year, a lot of work is going into developing those projects and programmes now, with the aim of making sure that submission is available to government for the budget this year. It's an inclusive growth deal that will bring strong advantages right across the region. It's also unique because there are 5 councils and 2 governments who are working together on this, because it's important that we've got both the UK and Scottish governments as a key partners in this process. I think this is recognition of the contribution that the Borderlands makes to the UK economy. We're currently working on those detailed business cases for submission to government, and it will be transformational for the economy, for areas like energy, digital and destination borderlands for investment in innovation and in the region as a destination for tourism. We need to look at priorities because we recognise we may not get everything we want in the first deal. We're being very ambitious, but it's important that we secure a strong deal that will benefit the whole region. And of course, key for Carlisle will be making a strong case for investment in the Citadel Station Gateway project, which will deliver transformational change in that part of the city.
So we might hear something in the budget, fingers crossed.
I would hope so. We're certainly working towards that.
Now, Carlisle's just become a member of the Key Cities Group. Can you explain what this is and why you've joined it? Well, again, growing confidence in Carlisle as a city and a driver of the local and regional economy, and we've been in discussion with key cities for some time now about Carlisle's role and what we can contribute as well as what we can gain. And this is now being recognised by other key cities. There's some very exciting things happening in Carlisle. We know the city faces challenges, but there's also huge opportunities which we're seizing. So now we're joining the group, which includes cities like Portsmouth, Derby, Hull, Norwich, places that would normally be seen as being much bigger than Carlisle. So Carlisle is really taking its place and making its way in the world by joining this group. Key cities have some of the fastest growing economies in the UK. What it does do, it gives us a unified voice when we're making the case for mid-size cities, particularly to government. We can support each other, we can learn from each other, and it raises the profile of member cities, making that case for investment. It's a big step forward for Carlisle to be part of this Key Cities Group. Okay. Now, the City Council was instrumental in winning enterprise zone status for Kingmoor Park back in 2016. Now, this brings incentives for businesses moving there, for example, business rates relief or enhanced capital allowances. What's been happening since then? Because it was touted as being a magnet for businesses to move in. Can we expect to see major inward investment there?
Yes, we've got the implementation plan now in place, and that has been agreed with government. Marketing the enterprise zone and the city as a place to locate, to invest and do business is ongoing. There's strong interest in the enterprise zone by businesses who are both new to the city and also those who are looking to expand and perhaps can't do it on their current sites. And we've also seen very recently ongoing construction of new units to meet increased demand. So we've got very strong hopes for the enterprise zone, adding to the economy of Carlisle.
And finally, perhaps we could talk a little bit about the city centre. I mean, town and city centres are under pressure because of changing shopping habits. Obviously, people are buying more stuff online, and that's not helping retailers, because we've got the ongoing saga of House of Fraser at the moment, haven't we? Whether or not the Mike Ashley takeover could mean a reprieve for the Carlisle store. But what I wondered is, what are you doing to maintain the vibrancy of the city centre? And do you have a master plan as to how it might change and evolve over the next few years if the decline in conventional retail continues?
City and town centres are under immense pressure for lots of different reasons, and certainly online shopping is one of them. There is also the case that given the current economy, people are feeling that their own personal budgets aren't as good as they used to be, so that there's less disposable income to come in to do shopping as a leisure activity. Also, the overhead costs that retailers have when compared to those online retailers doesn't give a level playing field, and I think that is something that the government is going to need to look at. But we recognise that the city is changing, and therefore we've got to be able to influence that change, not just react to it, but actually influence it and make sure that we've got a vibrant city centre that people want to come in and visit, that it's a leisure destination as well as just a shopping destination. So there's lots of things that the City Council can and is doing, and it's things like keeping the city centre clean and attractive. We get lots of positive comments from visitors who say how clean it is and how nice and welcoming the city centre is. It's important that we have good public realm. We've spent time and investment improving the signage in the city centre and telling the story of the city so that people can find their way around much easier. Another key area that we've been working on over a number of years is a very strong events programme.
Yeah.
Both local and national events, including free events, because sometimes people don't have that disposable income. So by some of our events in the city centre being free, it brings natural footfall. Things like music, markets, festivals. We've got the Carlisle Fringe coming up, which is growing year on year. The Borderlands Book Festival later on, which is an incredible success and continues to grow and is always, people really look forward to it. Then there are some of the major individual things that we can do working with partners. The one that everybody I think will remember for a long time this year was when we all worked together with English Heritage to get the poppies into the castle, which brought a huge number of visitors to the city, and all of those people would have been contributing to the local economy during their visit. So events has a very strong role to play. We often read comments about parking, and we've looked at the cost of parking very carefully over a number of years and looked at how we can reduce the cost of parking so that we've now got the charging programmes that you can park in our long stay car parks for less than £3 all day.
Right,
which again we get very popular comments about it, and we also introduced an early bird offer so that if people come in early in the morning they can again park all day for quite a low cost, and we know that across the city there's quite a lot of 1 hour and 2 hour parking free available. So parking is an issue which we keep constantly under review, and looking alongside that, I think the city's got a very strong leisure and tourism offer, so it gives us an opportunity to have very strong promotional campaigns to bring in, whether it's day visitors or it's people coming for a little bit longer. It's really important that we protect the retail core, and we also alongside that improve the entertainment and leisure offer. We know we've got a mixed economy, so we need to be looking after our retail and leisure so that it becomes a destination for people come in and spend time, but also to drive natural footfall by encouraging city centre living and working in the city centre.
Excellent. That's a good positive note on which to end. Thanks very much, Colin.
Thank you.